Yo, what up guys, it's Juan on JB Reviews. Today we're finally comparing the PS5 versus Series X. In terms of unboxing presentation, the Series X wins this round hands down. When you open up the Series X for the very first time, it's right there in your face, really nice in terms of packaging. On the PS5 side, it's really bland as far as I'm concerned. The console itself basically just comes wrapped in a squishy type of material. Not that packaging affects performance by any means, but when you're spending this kind of money on consoles, it's always nice to see that they're putting a little more effort into catching your eye and making it worth your while. In terms of design between both consoles, I'm a little bit torn on which one I like more. I don't know if I like the minimalistic type of approach that Microsoft went with the Series X this generation, or if I like the more in-your-face and futuristic type of look of the PS5. Let me know down below which one you like. I'm kind of torn myself on which one. Obviously this is dependent on the overall aesthetics of your layout, living room, entertainment system and such, but I think they're both fairly versatile. And if you do have a more modern setup, I think the PS5 is a bit better on that, but if you are going for something a bit more low-key, that's the Series X. In terms of backwards compatibility, the Series X wins that one hands down. The Series X is going to be backwards compatible with all of the Microsoft library of games, so if you do have a big library stacked up from like your old consoles and such, this is definitely going to be right up your alley. The PS5, while it is backwards compatible with the PS4, it is not compatible with other consoles in the family, so that is going to be a benefit for Microsoft and a unfortunate mishap for Sony. I myself wouldn't mind popping in Halo 3 on the Series X and seeing if I can relive the glory days. These new kids don't know anything about old school Xbox Live. Those lobbies used to be brutal, bro. Like, you could not be soft in those lobbies at all.
Oh, what do you want? Look at you, huh? Tell me what huh? Tell me what
Both of these consoles are packed out and are amazing, but not as amazing as gently tapping that like button or obliterating that thing. Whatever's your preference, either one works. Totally took a page out of Graham Stephan's book on that one. Anyways, also quick shout out to Drew and Austin over at Collector Squad. They do card unboxings, statue reviews, etc. I'll leave the channel link down below if you are interested in that kind of thing. Go hit them up, check them out, tell me boy Juan sent you over there. Now, raw power is most certainly not everything, especially when you're dealing with a really solid lineup of exclusive games. I think by this point it's common knowledge that Sony definitely wins that argument. They have a really wide library of exclusives on their end that's backing them, whether it's God of War, Spider-Man, The Last of Us, Ghost of Tsushima, you name it. Though it would seem that Sony is slipping a little bit on the exclusive end, they are getting a lot of those games now on PC, and I think they're going to be getting a lot more in the future, so that is yet to be seen in terms of how many they're left with at the very end. But I think in terms of exclusives, Sony still wins that round, while the Series X definitely does still technically win the performance round. So let's talk about those new SSDs on the new consoles. On the PS5 side, you're getting 825 gigs of memory coming out of the gate. Caveat though, it's going to be prior to the OS being installed. Once that is installed, you're only getting about 667 gigs of usable memory. On the Series X side, you are getting a terabyte prior to the OS. Afterwards, you're getting about 802 gigs on that one. Sony totally wins the controller round on the comparison. The DualSense controller is going to be a big revamp and leap forward for Sony. They added the adaptive triggers on the controller, they added a mic, a speaker, and the overall ergonomics have gotten a lot better. On the Microsoft side, the Series X controller is effectively going to be the same version of the Xbox One controller with a few tweaks. The ergonomics changed a little bit and you do get a share button on the controller itself, but overall you're getting the same thing. So I think this unquestionably goes towards Sony for the win. So I don't even know if people really care for the UI in terms of either console, but personally I do take into account resolution. So the Series X is running their UI menu at 1080p versus the PS5, which is running it at 4K. So at least personally speaking, that's going to be very important. I don't know if it is to you. Let me know down below if it is. But if that is something that you do take into consideration, I think the PS5 wins that as well. In terms of their cloud storage and streaming, the Series X definitely wins this round. Microsoft does have that ability for PC, but they are heavily pushing that for the Series X. Now, while the PlayStation does have that as well, it is going to be nowhere near the level of detail that the Series X does, having a ton of more games on there. So I picked up the disc version of the PS5, and the disc version of the Series X is already built in. You can't really change that. Now, do take into account that that will give you the option of having a built-in 4K Blu-ray player, though the PS5 version does technically have better dynamic range on your 4K Blu-ray playback. I've seen a couple of videos that have shown that, comparing the two playback of both consoles. Now, I don't know if that can be fixed with a firmware update as far as the Series X is concerned, or if it will also allow that to have Dolby Vision added to both consoles, as they do both support HDMI 2.1. That is yet to be seen, so stay tuned. So speaking of HDMI 2.1, the PS5 and the Series X both do support HDMI 2.1. What that does is give you the option of having 4K at up to 120 Hz on your screen or TV. Again, you do have to have a compatible TV, but the way it is looking is that the Series X is getting a bit more support on the 120 FPS area as opposed to the PS5. So as of right now, the PS5 is going to lose this round. Round goes to the Series X, but again, this could change in the future if the developers start focusing a bit more on the PS5 side. Now, I do know that both consoles have a dedicated fan base and fanboys that will defend these things to the bitter end, but I personally like both. I'm a bit neutral on this. I like the Series X, I like the PS5. I also have a gaming PC for the PC Master Race folks out there. But again, I think we can all agree that competition is going to be key and going to be very welcome in this situation, because it keeps each company trying to one-up each other, which in turn helps the consumers like me and you getting a better product. So which do you like more? Do you like the Series X? Do you like the PS5? Comment down below and let me know which one you do like. I kind of like both, but let me know what you think. Alright guys, that's pretty much it. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Hit that like button, subscribe if you have not, comment down below with any questions or comments that you may have on the PS5, on the Series X, or other products that you would like to see on the channel. Besides that, it's one at JB Reviews. I'll catch you next time.